A decades-old tradition on the Tech campus gave students a chance to help save the planet and make the university a more beautiful place. Coming up, we'll have the details on Arbor Day.
Music, art, fashion, and film were the focus of a first-of-its-kind event in downtown Lubbock this weekend. Find out how one local group is helping to influence the heart of the city next.
And the Red Raider baseball team put on a defensive clinic this weekend against the TCU Horned Frogs. MCTV's Brogan Stewart has a look back at that series, along with scores and highlights in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Will Jackson.
And I'm Katie Main. One of the oldest traditions at Texas Tech wrapped up a week-long set of activities aimed at encouraging Tech students to help save the planet.
That's right, Katie. And on Friday, those with a green thumb got the chance to make campus a little more beautiful. Last week, Tech hosted the annual Arbor Day celebration. Arbor Day is an opportunity for students, faculty, and staff to join together to beautify the Tech campus. Participants could sign themselves up or their group up to plant their mark on Texas Tech.
So in 1938, President Knapp, our second president, he thought the campus was kind of desolate because all we had money for was for buildings and not for landscaping. So he chose a day in early March to celebrate Arbor Day, and we planted 20,000 trees and plants that day. There were 1,000 students who released class early, and they continued to do that for about 10 years. At that time, they were able to get our first landscape architect, and the celebration kind of just ended. And then in 1999, we decided to restart the planning, restart the tradition, and today we have 2,200 students planting over 35,000 plants and flowers.
Those who attended Arbor Day received free food, t-shirts, and water bottles, and enjoyed live music by Angie Kielhauer from The Voice. The anticipated event allowed students to build a sense of community and receive recognition for their labor. This year's Arbor Day festivities were organized by the Student Activities Board. If you would like to help out with future events, just visit sab.ttu.edu for more info.
Downtown Lubbock is currently in a state of revival, and this past weekend, one local arts group held an event to help bring awareness to several projects in the heart of the city. The first ever Blanca Jam kicked off at noon on Saturday at the intersection of Broadway and Avenue J. Blanca Jam is an urban festival featuring art, music, fashion, and film. Blanca is a local arts group with a mission of growing the arts district in downtown Lubbock. Saturday's event was aimed at bringing more attention to the central downtown area where several local businesses are growing and thriving. Blanca hopes to work with those businesses and expand the influence of art in that area. Blanca Jam wrapped up Saturday night, but the group continues to host a variety of events in various downtown locations. For more information on Blanca, just visit their website listed on your screen.
Speaking of the arts, one of Texas Tech's own academic programs is expanding its facility to help influence the local community. Last fall, the Talkington College of Visual and Performing Arts officially broke ground on Phase 1 of a two-phase construction project. The focus of Phase 1 is to expand the School of Theater and Dance Complex and to renovate and expand the college's Majan Theater. Construction is currently underway on the project, which will include a grand lobby space, a box office, a new 5,000 square foot black box theater. Along with the theater renovations, the building expansion will also include 2 new rehearsal spaces, lighting and design labs, 3 classrooms, and an additional office space for administrators and faculty. The primary goal of the project is to help bring together various pieces of the college that are currently located in different areas of the campus. By relocating those resources, college administrators hope to create more collaboration between student, faculty, and staff in various departments. Construction of the College of Visual and Performing Arts is scheduled to be completed in December. The Lubbock area finally got some more rain after a storm system moved the area last night. Unfortunately, it didn't amount to much to help out with the potential of area wildfires.
That's right, Will, but luckily there's a few more chances of rain this week that might help improve drought conditions. Let's take a look at the MCTV forecast. The MCTV tower cam is showing partly cloudy skies and a strong breeze this afternoon. Temperatures have risen into the 80s, and there's a slight chance we could reach 90 degrees before the end of the afternoon. But after sunset, those temperatures will quickly begin to drop into the 60s, and there's a chance of thunderstorms after midnight. Heading into tomorrow, we'll start the day with lots of clouds as the storm systems move out of the area, but skies will begin to clear around mid-morning. Later tomorrow afternoon, windy conditions will return to the forecast, and we could see 40-mile-per-hour gusts in the late afternoon. Temperatures will again be warm on Tuesday, with highs again forecast in the high 80s. Tomorrow night, the windy conditions will stay around the area, bringing another chance of rain into the area after midnight. Temperatures will again drop into the mid-60s, making for a very mild evening. On Wednesday, the warmer temperatures and humidity left over from the storms will make for a muggy morning as students head to class. The humidity will quickly decrease, but temperatures will also climb back to the near 90s. We'll also see more wind on Wednesday afternoon, along with increasing clouds near sunset. Overnight on Wednesday, skies will be partly cloudy and temperatures will be a little cooler, with lows falling to the mid-50s. On Thursday, we'll finally see a return of the sun after the clouds move out of the area around sunrise. Temperatures will also continue to be a factor throughout the day. On Thursday night, we'll see a return of a few clouds and temperatures dropping back into the low 50s. Looking ahead, warm temperatures and less wind are in the forecast to end the week.
Thanks, Katie. Texas Tech baseball is only 2 series away from the end of regular season conference play. But did the Red Raiders do enough to move up in the Big 12 standings?
MCTV's Brogan Stewart joins us in studio with a look back at this past weekend's series and more in sports. Brogan?
Thanks, Katie and Will. The Red Raider baseball team traveled to Fort Worth to face off with the TCU Horned Frogs in a 3-game series. The team struggled both at the plate and on the mound, dropping the first game 4-6. The team was able to turn it around on Saturday with the help of Caleb Killian. Killian pitched a dominating game on Saturday and pretty much quieted the Frogs' bats. Killian would finish with a final stat line of 6 innings pitched, 1 hit allowed, 2 ball walks, and a career-high 9 strikeouts. Ryan Shutter would then come into the game to finish what Killian started and allow no hits and no runs to win the game 6-0. This win would set up the rubber match game on Sunday. The team jumped out early to get a lead of 5-1 going into the bottom of the second. The Horned Frogs would then battle back with the help of 14 walks to win the final game and the series with a score of 5-9. The team's record after this series loss is 33-12 and 11-7 in conference, which places the Red Raiders in 3rd place in the Big 12 standings. The team will next play a midweek game against the University of San Diego on Tuesday. This game is slated for a 2 p.m. first pitch and will take place at Danlaw Field. In other news, the Texas Tech softball team finished up their conference slate in the best way possible. The team was able to sweep the last-place Kansas Jayhawks. The sweep started on Friday with the team beating the Jayhawks in extra innings 4-2. On Saturday, the team took down Kansas 11-7 and finished the weekend with a 1-0 win on Sunday. The softball team would finish conference with a record of 5-13, but are not quite finished with their non-conference schedule. The team will have a midweek contest on Tuesday versus Abilene Christian University at Rocky Johnson Field. The game is slated for a 6 p.m. first pitch. Over on the tennis courts, the women's tennis team traveled down to Austin to compete in the Big 12 tournament, where they took on the Kansas State Wildcats. The team advanced to the semifinals after beating the Wildcats 4-1. The next round, the tennis team took on the OSU Cowgirls, whom they would also defeat 4-1. This win gave the team their ticket to the championship match, and this trip would be the 4th in a row the team advanced to the final match. The team's opponent in the final was the Texas Longhorns. Sadly, the team would fall just short of the championship title to the Horns 1-4. With that loss, the women's tennis is finished with their regular season, and the team will now wait for the NCAA tournament selection show that will be broadcast on May 1st to see where the team is seated. The NBA playoffs have started to move into the conference semifinals with only 8 teams left in the competition. In the Western Division, the series have already started with the lone Texas team, the Rockets, taking the first game 110-96 over the Utah Jazz. And the Warriors also took the lead in their series over New Orleans 123-101. The next game for the Golden State and New Orleans will be Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. and can be watched on TNT. The Rockets and Jazz series will be on Wednesday at 7 and will also be on TNT. In the East, the Cavaliers knocked off Indiana in Game 7 on Sunday, 105-101, to advance on to face the Toronto Raptors, who sent Washington packing Friday, 102-92. The first game of this series will be on Tuesday at 7 on TNT. However, tonight, the first game between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics will be at 7, also on TNT. Finally, 2 former Tech football players received some good news as Kiki Kuti and Dylan Cantrell were drafted in the 2018 draft. Kiki went In the 4th round to the Texans, where he will be coached by another Tech alum, Wes Welker. And Cantrell went in the 6th round to the Chargers. Nick Shimonek, Cameron Batson, Mike Thomas, Justin Stockton, and Derek Willies all signed free agent contracts with various teams including the Chargers, Titans, Jets, Seahawks, and Browns respectively. We would like to wish all these players the best of luck at the next level. That's all for sports. Back to you, Will and Katie.
Thanks, Brogan. With the end of the semester only 2 weeks away, most students are starting to stress over final projects, papers, and of course, finals.
It's true, Katie. So to help students survive the rest of the semester, one campus group is hosting a special activity to escape from it all. Raiders Spa is scheduled tonight from 5 to 9 p.m. in the sub-courtyard. The event will feature free massages, an oxygen bar, and even free test materials for all students who stop by. Raiders Spa is an annual event organized by the Student Activities Board. Tonight's event is free for all students with a Tech ID. So, Katie, speaking of stress, how are you handling the end of the school year?
I'm not really. I'm barely making it.
Yeah.
Lots of coffee.
Yeah, I don't drink too much coffee, but, I've got some papers to do, that kind of thing. Working on job applications, that's a nightmare. So, I'm handling, I guess, the best I can.
You might need to start drinking coffee.
Maybe. Definitely, hey, give me some Starbucks iced coffee, please. Thank you, anyone who's watching. So, anyway, that's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check out ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.